Xylophytoxida. The Xylophytoxida comprises of fossilized ancient Silurian Devonian order Xylophytes. The discovery of the different genera from such a wide places as Canada, Scotland, Europe, and Australia shows that these plants were of worldwide distribution in those days. The Xylophytoxida and the living Xylotopsida have been included within a single class, Xylopsida, or a division, Xylophyta, by several authors, but the recent trend is to consider them as a separate class for a reason, Xylotopsida. Previously, all the known genera within the class used to be placed within a single order, Xylophytes. The better known genera of this order used to be placed in five families: Rhinaceae, Zosterophyllaceae, Xylophytaceae, Asperoxylaceae, and Trimerophytaceae. The 2-meter high tree-like Middle Devonian genus Pseudosporocynus, formerly supposed to be a member of the Xylophytes, is now considered to be a member of the ancient fossil fern taxon Cladoxylales. Moreover, recent investigations have completely changed our idea of the Xylophytes. Order Xylophytes represent the plexus of primitive plants with apical sporangia and probably give rise to the great majority of modern vascular plants. Three families, Rhinaceae, Xylophytaceae, and Trimerophytaceae, are clearly recognized here, with a fourth one represented by the so-called Asperoxylon albarfedens, not yet defined. Family Rhinaceae. The Rhinaceae are the simplest of the Xylophytes, often compared with sporophytes of Anthoceros. The most important genera are Rhynia and Homeophyton from the Middle Devonian in Scotland. Genus Rhynia. The genus Rhynia from the Rhynie chaired bed Middle Devonian in Scotland was discovered by Mackay in 1913 and fully described by Kidston and Lamb in 1970. This discovery established the Xylophytes as a separate and distinct taxon. Three species are known, of which Rhynia major and Rhynia guanivaganae are the better known. The plants apparently grew in swampy marshes near volcanoes, where the atmosphere contained sulfurous vapor and the soil was acid. The reconstructions are from silicified petrifaction. The sporophyte. The plant body was a herbaceous sporophyte with dichotomously branching horizontal rhizomes bearing rhizoids on the underside, and the sum of the branches growing up abruptly, forming a aerial shoot. Uh, the aerial shoot of Rhynia major were up to 50 centimeter long and 6 mm in diameter, while those of Rhynia guanivaganae were shorter and more slender. The apical branches were cylindrical and sparsely dichotomously branched. These were naked, being devoid of any appendages of leaf and usually tapering upwards, ending in a point or in an erect sporangium. This is the Rhynia major and Rhynia guanivaganae. A Rhynia guanivaganae shows hemispherical oval or lenticular protuberances arising from the lower part of the aerial shoot or from the rhizomatous part. These are the constricted at the point of attachment, and in mature ones have their own vascular bundles, not connected with those of the main stem. They are found to be readily detachable and possibly was a means of vegetative propagation, germinating into new shoots. The anatomy of the stem is very simple. In the center is a central heterocentric protostele with a small central xylem formed of simple annular tracheids, which in some larger specimen become smaller toward the center. This is surrounded by 4 or 5 latter of elongated cells with obliquants which represent the phloem. Although plates have not been observed, there is no endodermis or pericycle. All round this vascular bundle is massive inner cortex of loose, rounded parenchymatous cells with lot of air spaces. These fill most of the stem and was probably the main photosynthetic tissue. The outer cortex is formed by one or two layers of somewhat larger, comparatively angular compact except below stomata cells at the hypodermal region. The epidermis is a compact layer of cells broken here and there only by the stomata with pairs of guard cells as in other vascular plants. This is externally covered by a heavy cuticle. Often the smallest branches show no vascular supply. The sporangia are oval or cylindrical structure with pointed ends at the apices of dichotomies. They may be slightly constricted at the base, though continuous with the stem and are always wider. Those of Rhynia major were rather big, about 12 mm long and 4 mm in diameter. The sporangium wall is thick and multi-layered with the outer cells thick wall and no methods of dehiscence is observed. The thinner inner cells probably represent the tapetum. The whole interior is filled with spore tetrads or free spores. The spores are spherical, large, up to 65 mu in diameter in Rhynia major and covered with a thick cuticle. A TS of stem and ELS of sporangia of Rhynia vanivaganae, the gametophyte. As in all the Xylophytopsida, the gametophytes are not known. Lyon in 1957 found some germinating spores within the same Rhynie cherry bed, which shows multicellular structure developing at the end of germ tubes. These may represent the gametophytic germination. Merker in 1959 and 1961 has suggested that it is not possible that the gametophytes of such a big group were not fossilized, while the large algae had been preserved. He argued that the underground creeping part of Rhynia, Honox, on are the gametophyte and not rhizome, but no sex organ has been found on these underground part, and the strong vascular bundle is not normal in gametophyte. His view is still now mere speculation. Puri is of opinion that Rhynia had a homologous gametophyte, and according to him, some of the plants described as sporophyte may be gametophyte. Example, some smaller Rhynia ganivaganae may be gametophyte of the larger Rhynia major. Thank you.